Hello, and welcome to the strangest week of the domestic abuse cartoons live stream ever. So yes, so Japan is self isolating. They're not in complete shutdown, but they're recommending people stay home and seeing as cartoons aren't an essential. Well, depending on your definition, they're not an essential part of society. I'm going to be doing this from home, and I don't have the technical means to do it. So this is a very bizarre setup right now. Hey, Joe. Nice to see you. So this is from home, and so I don't have my Cintiq, my usual tablet. I'd have to drive and go get that because the thing weighs a ton. I couldn't carry it back with me because it's also mounted on a big steel arm on my desk. But so I'm going to be drawing on this. I've done this once before when I was very ill end of last year. I tried to do this from home and it works okay, but we'll see. Yeah, and I kind of have my microphone off to the side, so I apologize if the sound is a little different. But hey, K5. So yeah, this is the home cast. Oh, nice. Chick-fil-A. Wow. Oh, yeah, I haven't been to a Chick-fil-A in forever. Damn. Yeah, but so Japan is recommending that people stay home, all schools shut down. So the university that I work at, the my daughter's school, everything is going to be shut down until the beginning of May, which is called the Golden Week holiday. It's a string of like four national holidays that give people a week off. And so everything in Japan is basically going to be, at a minimum until the beginning of May. So all of April is out. so so basically, restaurants with carry out and delivery. So like Uber Eats is going crazy now, I think, and then also grocery stores and things are going to be open. But oh my yikes, nice. Yeah. So suddenly, once the Olympics are off the table, Japan has a lot more cases of bad weather than they thought before. Yeah. So I'm going to be trying to do this from home. I think just as I got on the stream, I think I figured out a better way to do this. I think I can take the video out of this and put it into the computer, which may be a better. This is terrible. I mean, because you're just going to see my hand in shadows blocking everything I'm drawing, and then me in silhouette back here. So I'll work on this and try to get a better version of this. But for right now, it's just me silhouetted in the dark with a tablet on a table, sitting on a small sofa. So this is a bizarre. This is a whole bizarre thing. But it's good to see everybody, not see them, I guess, to read everybody. It's great that everyone is still around and still things are okay. I mean, if you're going to Chick-fil-A, it can't be all that bad. There's no fast food around right now. So I'm going to be doing a lot less. So obviously no convenience store. And I don't have it set up to read comments or anything. Oh, good. Cool. Well, I'm glad it's coming across okay, and it seems like the sound is okay. The microphone is like off to my left, so hopefully it's sensitive enough that it's picking up. But yeah, but I'll keep playing with it so until I can get things closer to what they were. The only thing I'm worried about is this tablet situation is going to be a little strange, but we'll be more talk focused, I guess, than art focused at this point, because there's not going to be a good way to display. And I also have memory problems on this tablet, so sometimes it gets a little laggy, and the pressure sensitivity is real weird as well. But we'll try to get something. Drive through, right. Hey, Petty. Oh man. So yeah, yeah, drive-throughs are pretty rare here because it's not Japan is not very much a car culture, so it's a lot more rare. There's the occasional drive-through McDonald's or Starbucks, but that's about it. Yeah, I know. There's no point if there's no convenience store. Then what's the point? Yeah, I have to figure out something else to do. I'm sure I've got something around here that would be fun to talk about, but yeah, I don't have any convenience stores near enough to make this work. All right, so I'm trying to get a hang of this, how this tablet's gonna work. Should be okay. All right. Oh, nice. So yeah, so things are, and it's interesting. They gave the stay-at-home order and the close all non-vital things order, but it's not enforceable. So in Japan, there's no police or government enforcement of stay at home because I guess prior to World War II, the government was really abusing those rights, and police were hauling people out of their streets and beating them in the streets. Anybody that was against the war effort or against the invasion of China or Korea, anybody that spoke against the government in the 30s and before in Japan could just be pulled out of their house and punished by the police, or just black bagged essentially and just taken away. And so then during the Reconstruction, when they did the new constitution, that had to be taken out. I mean, they didn't want the ability of the government to ever, you didn't want to have them be able to reinforce the divinity of the emperor any longer by police force. And so anything that's recommended by the government doesn't have, as far as like controlling civil rights or controlling freedoms or freedom to assemble or those sorts of things, are not enforceable because they violate the new Japanese constitution. So I thought that was interesting because they are talking so much about, like in Chicago, I heard a few weeks ago, the mayor was threatening to arrest people that were, having picnics in the near the lake or in the parks near the lakeside in Chicago. And that just seems bizarre because the thing that they don't want to do is confine people and keep them together. So if you're going to be arresting people, you're going to have to build a lot of jails with cells 6 feet apart. But so I was surprised by that. That was a kind of weird historic relic of Japan's history, and so they can just recommend things, and that's also going to mean that they're going to have less ability to control. Like unlike Taiwan or Hong Kong, they can't with a kind of strong arm enforce people avoiding each other. So things might last a little bit longer and might spread a little bit further here than they would in other places, which is unfortunate. So you gotta kind of balance the your human rights against the rights for business and other people to not get contaminated. I don't know. Yeah, definitely, Joe. It's a space problem because even like the parking lots for a McDonald's or something are, if it's even freestanding, most of them are like built into train stations or the sides of other buildings. They're pretty tiny, but most of them don't have the room for it. Out this way, kind of an old. Yeah, this thing is really lagging. In old western side of Japan, there's a little bit more space as people kind of give up tea farming and things. There's more space, and they've been building a little bit more. So there's a little bit more away from the train stations, a little bit more kind of car culture, more suburban feel. But it's on a Japanese scale, so very, very tiny. All right, so let's try to draw something here. I'm getting some weird lag. I don't have anything open on here, so there shouldn't be anything slowing me down. Well, Skype, I guess. Let me close some of these files. Oh, and you can see the nice reflection of my lamp here. Yeah, I'll try to get a a better version of this working, because I think this has a video out that I can mess with. And that should free up some RAM. What is... Oh, great. So it could be forced to restart at any time because there's an update for this thing hanging around. Let's see. Whoa, oh, I'm all tilted too. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, so the nice thing is I can pinch and zoom, which I turn off on the other thing. But let's try a little bit of that. All right. It's like every other line is gonna work. There we go. Yeah, so try to find a comfortable angle to do this at. But yeah, so I hope everybody else is dealing with less, or things are getting... it sounds like in the US though things aren't getting much better. So we'll see how this all pans out. Yeah, people were saying interesting things about Disney because you know, most of their income involves visitors, you know, park visitors or movie theater visitors. So all their movies are delayed and their parks are closed, and so their stock price is tanking. And just when people thought they were going to eat up the whole world because they bought Fox and had, you know, now the Simpsons and Aliens and all that stuff, now they're at risk of being bought up. That'd be amazing if China bought Disney. We had some Communist Party Disney censored stuff. That'd be great. Okay, these are supposed to be some kind of safety goggles, but it's not working here. Actually, they're not separated, are they? It would be one big connection here. These look more like scuba goggles. Nice. Yeah, so the office, just if I drove into the office, I don't have parking though at the building, so I'd have to pay for parking and drive into the office. And it's just not worth it. And plus I need to be home for my daughter now because she's going to be home until May. So my wife works part-time at a pharmacy, so she has to go to work. So we have to kind of split the duty a little bit more. And unfortunately, cartoons are not a priority over pharmaceuticals, so she has to do that and keep the drugs flowing. And I have to, yeah, I gotta change my my work routine. But we'll see. Yeah, so I just decided to lay off for a little bit until the schedule kind of makes more sense. So I'll be at home doing this, and but it'll give me time to figure out how to do this a little bit better from home, because this is not working. Let's see here. Yeah, I shouldn't be doing something so structurally complicated right now. I'm barely able to draw. Okay, let's try something else. But yeah, but should be good. Yeah, right. Well, they're so, I mean, I can't even imagine what kind of money that is that they lose every day that they're closed. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how important the government feels Disney is. If they're going to bail them out like a bank in the 2008s. Or in 2008, I guess there's only one. All right, so no more goggles. Let's see. What else am I doing? Let's just try something a little simpler to get the pressure working. But, yeah. It's been interesting. Things have just escalated, and mostly, so I'm on the opposite side of the kind of big island from Tokyo, but Tokyo's been having like 100 new cases a day. because everyone's on top of each other there. And so all of Japan is starting to panic a little bit and taking pretty heavy duty measures to keep the kids out of school and hopefully contain things a little bit more. And there's of course, just like China and the rest of Asia, so many elderly people here, and if they are at risk, they're going to run into a lot. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, she doesn't drive, so she has to take public transportation, but that's good. Yeah, that's true. I mean, anybody in healthcare doesn't lose their job because they are needed more than ever. They could lose their life, but they won't lose their job. But yeah, it's crazy. Oh yeah, that's true. Their merchandise is has got to be a big thing too, and especially, I mean, it looks like everybody that's closed. I've noticed that with every business, everybody that's closed is now doing construction. They're doing like renovations. So during this time, if they can get a contractor in there, they're remodeling during this downtime. I guess so that you come out of this downtime, kind of rebuilt and a little bit more competitive. But I thought that was really interesting. There's a lot of construction in the schools too. A lot of the public and private schools that have been closed, they've been full of construction. So yeah, I think everyone's taking advantage of this forced downtime to actually do something productive, and especially with private schools and private universities in Japan, because the number of students is shrinking every year. It's more and more competitive. So to look a little newer, to look a little more modern, gives you that much more advantage with in private universities and schools. So people picking the school might choose the newer looking one, and so yeah, a lot of these schools are dumping money into remodeling, because they're saying like 2022, the number of students is like going to drop like significantly, because the birth rate in Japan is so low that we're already going to be feeling that. So the number of university students is going to get smaller and smaller, and the private universities are going to feel that the worst, because they have to compete. And it's weird because they're also doing, well, just like all schools, but they're doing a little bit of shady stuff with there's like a nationalized exam that university. Really? Freeway exits? Wow. Yeah, that really sucks if they're doing. Yeah, I guess it makes sense though with lighter traffic. Freeways are closed, but that would just suck too. That's what I remember that in LA when they close an exit that you are normally taking. You either have to know ahead of time so you can get off before, or you get off after and wander around until you can get back to where you need to be. But yeah, that seems to make sense, because the tax money is still there from the previous year. So of course they've got that money to spend. So why not spend it and make it easier to do? Yeah, that totally makes sense. All right, because everyone's running with last year's budget, and maybe they know next year they're not going to have anything. Ugh, yeah, it's very strange. But yeah, so I should be doing more productive things during this downtime too. But yeah, I've just been kind of in a rut. I don't feel inspired to do anything. And now that there's no other podcast stuff to do, or barely any, yeah, it's been real weird and light. All right, so yeah. Yeah, so this is definitely going to be a weird time, and people already, a few friends I saw on Facebook are making little archives of photos of just stupid things people are doing, or people are wearing, I guess, in the U.S. I mean, of course, it's mostly Walmart, but like people in Walmart wearing Halloween costumes and scuba gear and things when they're in public. But it looks so much like the Middle Ages, and I think there was even somebody like with a plague doctor mask. But people's irrational fear, and the thing that it makes them do is the stupidest thing they can think of. So, going shopping wearing a water jug around your head or wrapped up in plastic is it's creating a lot of bizarre imagery for this time. Things are definitely going to be remembered in a very strange way. Where's my my brush size should, oh wait, yeah, sorry, this keyboard is a little different. That's bizarre. So I'm just moving the layer, I'm not moving my brush. Okay, there we go. No, it's not. This is a Japanese keyboard, so I don't know why it's not doing that. Alright, sorry. Little technical problem, so I guess I shouldn't be resizing my brush. I don't even know what layer I'm drawing on anymore. Oh yeah, there we go. But it really sucks. This summer, I guess there wasn't really anything I was like waiting for, but this summer movies are going to be just nothing. They're not going to release stuff. Oh, okay. I need to rest my hand on the tablet, but not tilt the image. Alright. Well, it's not getting any better here. So I don't know what I'm going to be able to draw. Wow. Yeah, I'm not I don't have any symptoms. I'm not officially quarantined, but I'm just, self-isolating just to make things easier. I think staying off of public transportation is probably a pretty smart move at this point, because you don't know when you're going to come in contact with somebody, and the trains can get so crowded still, where there's enough people that are forced to go to work and stuff. So I'm just being at home, not by doctor's orders or anything, and I haven't done anything risky. So it's just mostly to make it easier for my daughter to be at home. Yeah, but Walmart. I guess Walmart always has the best photos, because especially when they're open 24 hours, you get all kinds of maniacs. Yeah, there was a Walmart when I lived in upstate New York, and near Ithaca, New York. There was a Walmart that was like towards Appalachia, because that's like the New York State and Pennsylvania are kind of the northernmost reaches of Appalachia, and that Walmart would get scary. I mean, there were people that are coming out of their homes once a year or whatever, and their trip is Walmart. So yeah. Oh yeah, I'm too far. Like I'm like through mountains and things. So yeah, unfortunately, the only way would be to drive, and it's just not worth the parking expense, because parking in Japan is really expensive. So it wouldn't be worth the parking expense to drive in. And there's not. It's just me. It was just my studio. So it just if I bring everything here, I can basically do what I was doing there from home. It's just I'll be taking up a lot of room, taking up a lot of extra space. But that might eventually happen as April goes on, if I can't get a real workable situation here. I don't want to buy anything. I don't want to like duplicate any equipment that I don't have to, just for this situation. So we'll see. But yeah, no, it's It's miles. You know, if you take the mountain kind of route, it's close to an hour driving. Yeah, it's pretty far away. The highway is a little bit quicker. There's a tunnel, and it's a little bit quicker. But of course, it's fees. The tolls, the highway tolls in Japan are crazy too. It's like you know, you ride a kilometer, and you pay like $9. You just have to keep doing that every little stretch. So there's a couple of road tolls too, and using the tunnel is a toll as well. So yeah, it's just not worth the expense at this point. And I'm still able to produce this cartoon even from home, so that doesn't cut off any of my other income. So it's good for now. But yeah, it's just nice to have work in one place and home in another place, and not have the two mix, because then I'll start getting I'll start working too much. I'll start working and on a lot of stuff that I don't really need to. But yeah, so it's pretty far, but it's nice. I mean, it wasn't my wife's choice so much, but I really liked being more isolated from the city. Now I have never. Yeah, I've just seen the random image. I've never been to People of Walmart, but I have seen some of the bizarrely scantily clad and mysteriously dressed. Just the occasional photo that makes it onto wherever. But yeah, that's so bizarre. And also, Walmart has that funny culture because they don't call the cops on you if you park your RV in their parking lot and just stay overnight. So you can basically travel across country and not have to pay for any hookups or I mean any camping spaces. If you drive an RV, you can just park in Walmart parking lots. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was like their thing, and it probably came from risking some bad PR. I'm sure they called the police early on people, and had gunfight kind of showdowns in their parking lots, and so they just decided, let's let people do whatever they want to do instead of all the bad PR of people being hauled away. Yeah, I'll have to I'll have to take a look at that when I'm feeling real homesick, I guess. uh, all right. But yeah. So what I was saying is, so I'm kind of half in the middle of nowhere, like halfway between the big city and the middle of nowhere, and I really like that. I really wanted to do that because if you live in the city, you've got a much smaller space. So we've actually got a house and not an apartment, and we would definitely not have a house in the city. We would just have an apartment, and you're just hearing noise constantly, either traffic or drunk. Every night, drunks somewhere, and it's just a real noisy mess, and yeah, just not having the patience for that anymore. So kind of yeah, halfway to nowhere, but close enough that the train is only like, I literally can be downtown in like 15 minutes taking the express train, because it doesn't stop. It goes straight to the middle of the city. So it's like maybe like 22 minutes, I think, is the full ride. But that's great. So if it's almost an hour driving, but it's a 20-minute train ride, that's why I favor the public transportation. It makes it a lot easier. Yeah. I wonder why they did that. Why that's a yeah, no, me either. Yeah, those parking lots are just massive because they always build WalMarts in just like the middle of no, or not the middle of nowhere, but they're pretty strategically placed. But they buy big lots to put those on. So yeah, I wonder when that happened, like when they came up with that idea to be friendly to traveling people, because I mean that matches kind of American culture pretty well, because there are a lot of people that still like to see the country because there's enough of a variety um, of different geography and different cultures in America, that it's still fun to travel. And so that idea that you can do it that cheaply, and well, it probably is also that they know you are definitely going to be buying food and supplies from them, so just to make it a little bit kinder. Because if you're on the road, yeah, you could almost exclusively be shopping at Walmart while you're traveling. Something is going on with this pen. But yeah, so maybe they just kind of gave up and realized it's probably better to make a customer than be chasing people out of there. And also, yeah, I think as far because the parking lots are so huge, it's the easiest place to pull into and not risk any tight corners. Yeah, yeah, cheap land. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they find the cheapest land. Yeah, that's so bizarre, that whole, like, was it 90s Walmart expansion time. God damn, I'm getting some real weird lines where they were just placing themselves outside, and and also that's their kind of their dirty trick is placing themselves just outside of a town, making their prices so cheap that everyone stops shopping at the local businesses, and then as soon as all the businesses are shut, then they can raise their prices. But that's kind of old story. Everybody knows that, and we were fine with it somehow. We just let it happen. I mean, I think there were people that protested Walmart's opening, but I don't know how many they actually stopped. Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to get this pen to work, so I'm not drawing anything particularly interesting. But yeah, so I'm surprised I haven't been. I thought I'd be watching more movies or something during this time, but I haven't. Just been watching a lot of YouTube. That's pretty depressing. I should catch up on more interesting things. But I guess there's a new season of Ozark, and Better Call Saul has got new episodes, so I can catch up on that. Yeah, I'm really curious what's going to happen with movies. Like, if there's going to be a lot of movies that are going to get dumped onto streaming, and also if there's going to be. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and for someone that's only grown up in a small town, something the scale of a Walmart is just amazing. It's just shocking. Even though everything's from China, it's still a lot of stuff.